This is the JR Show. It's a Monday. I'm adjusting my mic. Hold on. It's Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. Social media. Just look up Kern Radio, Facebook, Instagram, X, and even streaming live on YouTube now. That's right. Put my little lapel on right there so you can hear me better on the stream if you so choose to watch us on YouTube. Just search Kern Radio. We're out there. Am I on? I'm on. All right. I got a great show for you lined up today. Did I cover all the bases? I'm also out there, JR Flores. Why not JR? Call in or text anytime, 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. Email jr@kernradio.com. Great weekend. Got a great show for you lined up. We're going to go to the press conference here shortly. They are holding a update, if you haven't heard, about the situation in Idaho, where a man set a fire to draw in firefighters and ambush them, killing two, injuring another. Like I said, they're giving an update right now. We'll go to that in just a second. Let me tell you else what we else have planned. We'll talk with Michelle Avila from the Kern County Cancer Foundation. She's going to get us a total from the Media Music Jam. I want to thank all of you that were in attendance. I did meet some listeners. Thank you all for coming out. Michelle will join us in just a second to give us a total on that. We'll talk about some local news, a mom of the year here locally, plus more protests going on out at David Valadeo's office. You can guess why, but if you can't guess, we'll tell you. And the Marines are down at the border. We'll explain that as well. But let's go to the press conference. I know they had just started probably about 5 minutes ago. He said they still haven't found a manifesto. They still haven't got to go entirely through his car, although some say that it appeared that he had been living in it. Again, they haven't found a motive. We don't know. For all we know, he could be an arson that's gone crazy. And the fire is still burning. I think he said it was it's contained now, but it is still burning. Here is a live update at the press conference for the Idaho Sheriff's Department.
He at one time wanted to be a firefighter. So we're still processing the scene. It's going to take a few days to do that, especially with the current fire that's there.
Have they had any communication with the fire district about a potential job there?
We have checked some of the fire entities here, and we have not located where he had either put in an application or put in some sort of a interest form. We have not found that yet. So that, we have not found that.
One more question. There's Christy a video on Instagram. Was this posted right before the ambush?
Well, it was discovered right before, but I don't know how long it had been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any indication of the motive?
Yeah, no, we don't have any indication of any motive at this time. And we, certainly we will continue to investigate that, but obviously we go on intent. And so, but we will certainly find out, or if there's any evidence to believe that there was a motive, we will do that. And I think an inventory of the vehicle would be a good place to start.
Do you think his desire to potentially become a firefighter is part of this?
We just don't know. Yeah, we just don't know. The gentleman.
Firearms, has that been determined yet?
What?
These were his firearms that were used, or were they someone else's?
Has not been determined yet. Lady in the green.
Sheriff Cody Proctor returned to your news. You mentioned that he had had interactions before with law enforcement, but had he had interactions before with firefighters?
We did not check to see if he had any interaction with firefighters. We do know that he did contact the firefighters when they came on scene, and there was a discussion. So we're still in the process of investigating that part of it. Gentleman in the blue in the back.
Sheriff, I've heard you explain. Talk to me about why you're sharing this Instagram post. Talk to us. What does it look like when you're looking at this when it's simulated?
Well, we're trying to collect any and all information, and those social media posts are what we call open source information. So this is all in an effort to find out intent, to find out if there was any other, if there was a motive or whatever the case may be. But
We have another question. We have some people that live in the area of the evacuation zone last night for the shelter. They didn't get a phone call, they didn't get a text. How does your system work? Was there a text that went out, or how did you?
yes, absolutely. Part of our Kootenai alerts sent out a text, I believe, a 5-mile radius. And I encourage people who live or frequent the area to sign up for Kootenai alerts. So,
But opt-in service?
well, yes, yep. The gentleman in the blue.
Sure. The welfare trips that you guys initiated,
Yep.
were they given by a relative, a parent calling you to check on him? Or are they concerned about his mental health?
No, it was generally a reporting party who called and saw a vehicle that was either parked near their property or on their property. One was a restaurant where he appeared to be residing at. He was asked to leave and he complied. So none of them that we have at this time were called in from a relative. They were called in from a property owner or passerby. The gentleman there in the,
Sheriff, can you describe the weapon that you found next to it?
it appears right now we have a shotgun that was used, but we're still processing the scene.
So obviously a shotgun is not a sniper weapon.
Correct.
Do you know what kind of weapon that was?
Well, we're still processing the scene, but let me kind of set the scene for everybody. When you're in a rural area and you're heavily treed, heavily brushed, and when you're taking fire, then it just adds a whole different dynamic to the situation. So what was reported by people on scene, by peace officers on scene, that they believed they were taking sniper fire, yes. And then that's where that is. Lady in the black.
Hi, was he a suspect before you found him, or did you not identify him until after you found him?
Can you give me that first part again?
Was he a suspect prior to finding his body, or were you not sure who he was until after you found him?
Well, we had information that we had an idea who that person might be, but we always defer to the coroner's office to make sure that we have a positive identification on the individual. People borrow people's car, people use people's phones. Yeah, so we always want to make sure that we have a positive identification before we make any type of release. So this lady,
Are you able to identify that if Wes was the person who called 911, who made the initial 911 call?
still under investigation. If that is the case, he did not use his real name. So, but it certainly will be part of the investigation. But we had an individual called, a male, and he did not use the suspect's name. So,
And one more clarification, because I think I misunderstood. Did you say there was an interaction with first responders
there was an interaction with the firefighters.
when they first arrived on the scene?
Correct.
What was that?
It had something to do with his vehicle being parked where it was. So, yeah. The gentleman in the blue in the back.
Sure. Can you tell us what type of bullets then were used in the attack on this? Were you firefighters?
Right. Well, we know that some rifled slugs were used, and a rifled slug is a pretty big projectile. Anybody know off the top of their head how many grains a rifled slug is? Oh,
What gauge is 1 ounce?
yeah. So generally going to be a 1 ounce piece of metal. But we also have some fragmentation of something. So it's still early on. You know, we have some smaller projectiles, and we don't know if that was a fragmentation of one of the rifled slugs or another weapon. Like I said, we are still processing that scene. The firefighters are putting water on it. So we're still processing that. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, can you tell us how sophisticated you think this ambush was? Or do you think this was an interaction that went badly? And one more thing, we were just right outside the scene and we saw a firefighting vehicle come down with 3 completely flat tires. Were spikes used? Was that part of the ambush?
No, part of once the rounds started to exchange back and forth, and when deputies got on the scene, part of the theory was we don't want him to be able to circle back around and get into either one of the fire trucks or his own vehicle. So deputies disabled the trucks and they pushed over the suspect vehicle off the side of the mountain.
Wow. Still very early on in the investigation. We've been listening from an update from the sheriff's department there, the local sheriff's department, as we're learning more about the suspect and what actually took place there in Idaho. Unfortunate. I thought I heard him say, as we just took the press conference, that they believe he wanted to be a firefighter at one time. Could be a potential motive. As the investigation continues, I'm sure we'll learn a lot more and keep you updated. Got to get to a break. We're going to talk to the executive director of the Kern County Cancer Foundation, Michelle Avila. She's got a total for us from the Media Music Jam that happened on a Saturday night. We'll tell you all about that on the other side. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Ralph Bailey Show, weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m.
It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's Monday. Dr. Jeet Singh from Centric Health will join us. And, of course, our regular Kathy Abernathy. And we'll have the winner of the Battle of the Bartenders. All that, me at 3. It's TRBS. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'll see you Monday.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554.
She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is
I see what you did there, Chris. Yes, I performed Living La Vida Loca this past Saturday at the Crystal Palace for the Media Music Jam. Is a benefit concert for the Kern County Cancer Foundation. And joining us right now is the executive director, Miss Michelle Avila, to give us a total. Michelle, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm great, JR. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on, taking the time. And the great event happened over the weekend out at the Crystal Palace. Possibly, maybe the last one, but we're not going to say that for sure, Michelle.
I can tell you it's definitely not going to be the last Media Music Jam.
Definitely not going to be the last one. That's glad to hear. And if I can help in any way, I will do so. You have a total, though, for us, do you not?
I do. We are currently at $100,657.
Wow. $100,000. It's my understanding that is a record, right?
Yes, by far. It's so amazing, especially in these times where there's a lot of uncertainty. We weren't really sure if we would be able to get to the numbers that we've seen in past years. Usually anywhere between 70 to mid 80s with the event. But we're grateful for anything, honestly, because all of this money comes to be able to help our local cancer patients. So any money raised, we are happy with. But the fact that it was record breaking and went over the 100,000 mark is just, I don't even have words for it. We're just so pleased as an organization to be able to know that we have that, to be able to meet the needs of our patients when they're coming in and needing $5,000, $10,000 at a time to pay for their care. We can tell them, yes, we have that available to be able to take care of you during your time of need.
Talk to him, and we're talking with what the work that the Kern County Cancer Foundation does. Tell us a little bit about those that aren't familiar with it. What you guys actually do for families here locally battling cancer.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We have our financial assistance program, which has existed for the last 12 years. And so when a patient from Kern County, a cancer patient, has to go through treatment, and that could be surgery, it could be chemotherapy, radiation, whatever it may be. Many times they have an out-of-pocket expense related to their care. Their insurance will take care of a certain amount, but then the patient is responsible for a certain amount. And that, varies person to person and insurance to insurance. But many times the patients who apply to our program, they're saying, I have insurance, but yet I'm still responsible for paying $6,000. I don't have that. I didn't plan for cancer, or I have a young family, or I have these other bills that have added up.
Right.
And
sometimes they're the breadwinner of the family, and you take away that income, and then now you're left struggling, going, okay, we're going through chemo. I'm trying to work, but I'm sick, and I've got all these bills piling up.
Exactly. And that's really our focus, are for those who, were working, have been working, continue to work, and yet they need this help during this time. And so they apply to our program, and we don't say, oh, here's $50, good luck. We say, okay, we will take care of all of those bills for you for the rest of the year. And if you need more help next year, if you're continuing to go through treatment and need more assistance, come back to us, and we'll continue to help you as long as you need it, and as long as you're going through treatment and qualify for the program. There's also patients, and a lot of people don't realize this, who maybe they have to go on disability because based on their care, they're not able to work. And so they go on disability and their income drops, but then their employer still requires them to pay their own insurance during that time. So here they have now less money, and they're expected to pay out more. Sometimes it's $800, $900 in COBRA each month to keep their insurance. Well, they need their health insurance in order to get their treatment. And so we get those as well, and we'll tell them, okay, for the next 6 months, we'll pay out that $800 a month on your behalf. So that's almost $5,000 that we're committing and we take care of those patients to make sure they don't have to worry about losing their health insurance while they're going through cancer treatment.
Which is just, I mean, the impact with the financial help, but the stress burden that relieves from somebody that's already having to battle cancer and the stress that can bring. You know what I mean? Just bringing out one more thing off of their shoulders where they can focus and really put their attention on battling this disease.
Yes. And so when we have a fundraiser like the Media Music Jam, where it's made up of volunteers who organize the event and then volunteers who perform at the event, like yourself, all of that makes it so that the $100,000 is truly what is coming to the organization and going out on behalf of the patients. And that's, I mean, we keep our staff extremely small, and we do that so that we don't have those large overhead costs, so that that money that's raised can really be available for the patients and their needs.
And all of that stays here locally.
Yes,
That's local
100%
families.
of
That's
it
your
is-
neighbors. That's residents right here in Kern County.
Our requirements are that they are Kern County, they are on cancer treatment, and they have a demonstrated financial need. And so what that last piece means is we have a committee of social workers from Kern County, from the different facilities, and financial liaisons, people who are able to understand. And we look at the situation on a case-by-case basis. So that, like I said, it's someone, like you said, it's a breadwinner of a family who all of a sudden now is going through treatment. Maybe their income is, you know, let's say $100,000, but then it drops because of the treatment. They still have a mortgage to pay. They still have sometimes a car payment, utilities, etc. So those bills don't go away. And yet now they're faced with additional expenses and obstacles. And so that's where we jump in and try to help them. We also have our pediatric mobile angel unit. There is not a treatment facility for children with cancer in Kern County. Children have to go either up to Madera, down to LA. We also have some that go up to Stanford or even down to San Diego. And when a parent has to quit their job in order to be with their child, you don't send a child by themselves to the children's hospital. You have to be there with them. And so they see a slash in their income as well, because the parent is now caring for a sick child, and they're going regularly and staying at the hospital and having food expenses, and then usually also have children at home, the siblings, who are trying to almost fend for themselves. And so we have our program that eliminates a lot of those transportation costs and also navigates them with other resources to help them during that time. And all of this is possible because of the donations from the community and fundraisers like the Media Music Jam.
If somebody needs to sign up for assistance, how do they do that?
They can go to our website, kerncountycancerfoundation.org, and there are phone numbers on there, but they can also, there's a little fill-in sheet where just with name, phone number, and kind of what they're thinking they need help with, or even if they're calling on behalf of a loved one or a family member or a friend, you can fill out that, and then we will have one of our patient navigators who will contact you within 24 hours and see what the need is. Sometimes it's a program that, you know, like our financial assistance program is transportation. Sometimes it's other things. It's just like, I don't know what to do. I was just diagnosed, and we will help through that process as well. So it's all of that is necessary because it's just such an uncertain time during a cancer diagnosis for a family. And our job, our heart is to be able to help understand and hold someone's hand through, especially that beginning process.
Yeah, and that's just amazing. And shout out to my uncle Steve Flores, who's been doing this for how many years now? 11?
7 years. He has been doing the Media Music Jam, and he's known for that. And we are just extremely grateful for that. But beyond Media Jam, he's also our board member and is involved in almost every aspect of supporting the organization and our patients, be it probably a text or a call from him on a weekly basis where someone has contacted him and said that they have a family member who has just been diagnosed. And so he's this direct link to the community as well, to be able to refer patients who need support. And then I usually call right away, and then we get them through our programs and really try to, like I said, hold their hand through the entire process.
It's just amazing work that you guys do over there. $100,000 raised on Saturday night.
Yes.
And we will keep it going to continue to help families right here in Kern County fighting cancer. Thank you so much for coming on, Michelle. I appreciate it so much. And like I said, whatever help you need, you have my phone number.
Well, thank you. Don't forget, we are doing signups right now for our run.
Oh yeah, you got events coming up.
Yeah, September 20th is our big event. We're expecting 2,500 participants this year. Yes, it's one of the largest events now. It has become that here in Bakersfield. And that it brings a lot of just hope and energy to those who are going through cancer treatment. We have hundreds of cancer survivors that come out for the event. So we have early registration right now. It goes through the end of this week. So KernCountyCancerRun.org, and people can sign up, or survivors can sign up for free, and come out to the event in September. We want to have everyone there.
You know, I'll be out there. I'm gonna run. I'm going into training, Michelle. I can sing and I can run. I can't sing, but I can run. I can't sing. We learned that on Saturday night, Michelle. I can't sing. I'll go up and put on a show, but I can't sing.
So the media is over 100,000. So that's about 25% of what we commit each year for the medical bills portion, so to patients. So the run walk, we're hoping to also raise another 100,000, and between those two events alone, take care of half of what we commit to patients. And it's it's a lot of money, but we want to make a big impact. The individual needs of these patients are just so large. We've approved people before for $12,000 because that's what they needed at that time. And of course, it gets scary as an organization. We're like, wow, we just committed $12,000 to one person, but we're like, well, we have it, and thank goodness for all the community who supported us. And let's take care of this patient today.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the need or what. We're going to try to meet it. We're going to try to stand in that gap.
And your uncle makes sure that happens.
Well, yes, he does. Yes, he does. And he might not think that he's going to be running this anymore, but he is still going to be a big part of it. And it will definitely be a legacy that he leaves.
Yes.
So thank you again, Michelle, for coming on. We'll have you back in about a month or so, and you can pump up that walk one more time. And again, I'll be out there. You better believe it.
I look forward to it. Okay. Thank you, JR.
Thanks, Michelle. That is Michelle Avila, the executive director over at the Kern County Cancer Foundation. The Media Music Jam raising $100,000 this weekend. I'll tell you more on the other side of the break. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. Online at kernradio.com. Download the Kern Radio app to your smart device. Take us anywhere you go all summer long on all those vacation plans that you have, whether you're in Kauai or El Segundo. Take us with you. You can also check us out on social media. Just look up a Kern Radio, Instagram, Facebook, X, and even streaming live on YouTube. I am also out there. JR Flores, or why not JR? You can join anytime, 661-842-5376, 661-842-KRN. You can also email me, jr@kernradio.com. Want to thank Michelle Avila, the executive director of the Kern County Cancer Foundation, for coming on. Had a great time on Saturday night. Like I said, I met a couple of listeners there. The lady that I met at the top of the steps, I apologize. I don't remember your name. I know it was very unique, though. And you stopped me at the top of the steps, and I just want to say hello. I remember. I'm sorry that I'm bad. I'm terrible with names. But I remember stopping and talking to you. So I just want.
You don't remember everybody's name?
I don't remember.
Ever?
I can't. I hate
when people walk up to me assuming I'm going to remember your name. It's like, dude, I met you once.
Sometimes I do. I try to repeat the name a number of times to stick it in memory, but then it goes away.
If I walk up to you and call you by name, obviously I remember your name.
Yeah, especially after I went on stage, I didn't remember anything. I get on stage and it just goes whoop, and I just right out the window. Lucky, I even forgot the lyrics at one time. Just totally looked over and he looked at me and my backup singer, and he started going, and I was like, oh yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's what it was.
Where am I at again? I'm on stage at the Crystal Palace, but thanks again for everybody that came out. Big shout out again to my Uncle Steve that puts it together. Also, a lot of my family members, whether it's all of my cousins are involved and participate and taking tickets and doing all that. It's a big deal for us, and to be able to raise $100,000 to help families right here in Kern County. And part of the reason we do that is because we, as a family, the Flores family, has been affected and impacted by cancer a number of times in our family, whether my father, who passed away from cancer, my Uncle Steve, his wife, Susie Flores, passed away from cancer, which kind of is the real catalyst to this event and trying to help other families. And so it's her legacy that we do this in honor of. When you walk in, you get the little bracelets that say her name on it and everything. So it's a big deal in the Flores family, and we will, I promise, continue the tradition. Thank you to all the media folk. I shouldn't name them because they're competitors, but Aaron Perlman, that dude is he can sing his butt off. I know a lot of people were surprised about how well he can actually sing, but he can sing. Bob Price can't sing. He's fun and he's great at a lot of things. But Bob, you're entertaining as hell. I'll tell you that. But you're just as bad a singer as I am. Jim Scott can kind of hold the note a little bit. Who else was out there singing? A lot of people. Mike Hart, what can't Mike Hart do? Whether he's picking up horse poop or singing on stage, announcing the Condors game. Big shout out to Mike Hart, just all the media folk. And that's the thing. We all come together for one night. We're in competition. We're battling for listeners and viewers and all that. It's this one night where we can all come together and raise $100,000 apparently to help local patients here in Kern County who are battling cancer. So thank you. Hats off to everybody, not just who participated, but those that came out and gave money. It was a great time. Also, this weekend, the Battle of the Bartenders happened out at the Iron Lily. That was the first inaugural there, a Battle of the Bartenders. That was to benefit Houchin Community Blood Bank, who also helps out a lot of cancer patients. So for all the folks that participated and came out for that, thank you very much. It was a great time. I love the folks at Houchin. I'll be out there this week to donate some blood, or I do platelets, but get out there and do that, because with the 4th of July coming up, it's going to be, it's not, you know how it goes. Let me tell you who the winners were. Chris, do you have them? I'm trying to find them. Let me see.
I am actually looking at this.
I got it right here. Best overall cocktail was Black Label Bartenders for their Peacherini Martini. I didn't try any of the drinks. Just so JR did not drink. He had 2 events. That was event 1 of 2 for the day. So I did not partake in any of the spirits. I've heard everybody say that they enjoyed many of them and a great time everybody in attendance was having. But unfortunately, I didn't get to try anything. But that Peacherini, is that what they were calling it? Was good. Who else was there? Tiki Co. Won for best classic cocktail. The most creative was the Vault. They had a s'mores espresso. And the People's Choice Award went to Saunders for their Tropic Thunder. Did you try any, Chris? Don't lie.
I, of course, had tried some of Casey Steakhouse's whiskey-based drink because it was peanut butter, and I am a sucker for peanut butter.
Yeah, I held with the Casey Steakhouse booth.
As I did as well.
As Chris relieved me when I needed to leave for my other event, and they were serving a peanut butter and jelly martini with a marshmallow and graham cracker crust.
Which, how am I supposed to pull people in to sample said drink if I have not tasted it myself? So I had to.
I did. I was superb too. You would have thought I worked at Casey's Steakhouse. I should tell Cassie she owes me a steak. I was pulling people in left and right, getting people to try to vote for us. Like I worked. But I love the Casey Steakhouse. Again, thanks for everybody that was attendance and all events this weekend, raising money to help local people right here, Houch and Blood Bank and the Kern County Cancer Foundation. We're going to take a quick break, come back on the other side, get to some of your text messages, 661-842-5376. Canada dropped their digital tax, another win for Trump, so they can get back to the renegotiating tables. We'll talk about that. Plus, Mom of the Year right here in Bakersfield. Unfortunately, a 1-year-old boy has lost his life, and his 2-year-old, we would assume, brother is in a hospital, stable condition, or now been placed in protective custody. We'll tell you about the Mother of the Year. Plus, some more protests scheduled for Valadeo's office. I'll tell you about the hypocrisy in that. All coming up next on the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM.